Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Erin. Today we are doing my September TBR. So I'm in the middle of a monster challenge with my characters right now. I had 31 books to read in 5 months, and let's look at what I've done so far. Alright, so here's my checklist for the mini monster challenge that I'm doing with my characters. I read all but one of my books for last month, and I actually just finished that book today, so the fiction category should be getting another check mark. And overall, I'm pretty happy. I finished off the short story section and the other series section. I really need to start working on those bigger books. The classics, fantasy series, and fiction are really going to take my time up. So I'm going to show 10 books this month. One of them isn't for the Monster Challenge. I don't plan on getting through all 10 because school starts this month, and even this last week of training has been a little crazy, and I've definitely not been reading as much as I was during the summer or, quarantine, COVID times. So I'm planning on my reading taking a dip, but I'm still going to get through as many of these as possible. And this is actually the order that I'm going to be reading these in. The first book I'm reading with a Discord group, and this doesn't count for the monster prompt, and that's part of my Wheel of Time read-along, and we're moving into book 3 for September, The Dragon Reborn. I finished the last book. I'll talk about it in my wrap-up, but I'm very excited to get to this one. I want to see what happens with the group as they keep moving through their story. So, excited for this one, but it's a chunk in and of itself, so I'm sure it'll take up a lot of my monthly reading time. I'm going to have to really balance this out. So, the first book that I'm going to be reading in September is Born a Crime. This is a memoir by Trevor Noah. I'm really excited to get to this one. I've heard a lot of good things, and I love Trevor Noah. I watch the show all the time. I'm interested to see kind of his childhood story. I know he grew up during an apartheid, and I'm interested to see how that affected his childhood and how he grew up. This one is an exciting first book of the month. After that, I'm going to read one off my classics list, and this is Hamlet by William Shakespeare. I'm probably going to be picking up another one of the No Fear Shakespeare versions from my library that has the actual William Shakespeare and then kind of like the abridged if you need help understanding Shakespeare version on the side, because that really worked out for me last time when I read The Twelfth Night. So, moving from one exciting book to one I'm a little bit more intimidated by. Third up on our list is one that I have heard so many good things about that I can't wait to get to, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstein. I don't know much about this aside from that everybody loves it. I first saw this book on a Clockwork Readers channel, and she gushes about this all the time. I know it involves circus, love, magic, rivals, and I feel like I'm going to enjoy all of those things. So, third on the list. A little bit chunky. It is over 500 pages, so I've got a lot of big books on this list, but we'll keep going. The fourth one will be a nice break from these big books, and that is Saga Volume 1. This is a graphic novel. The illustrations in this are pretty amazing. And again, I've heard really great things about this book. From what I understand, this is kind of a galactic space love story. So I think these two were on different sides of a war. They fall in love, have a baby, and are just kind of trying to find a spot to live out their life without all the craziness going on in the world. Don't know much more about it than that, but again, it's another one that I've heard great things, and the artwork is really getting me excited. After that, we go back to chunky books. This is a duology that I need to finish. A lot of people fell in love with the first one, and I really liked it, but I wasn't as sold as some people were, I think, and that is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Everybody loved Six of Crows, and I enjoyed it, but I think it was a little bit overhyped by the time I got to it. So I'm interested to see how the series finishes out, but I don't think I was as in love with it as a lot of people were. And again, it's another huge book. Already between this and The Night Circus, and The Great Hunts, I've got some big boys this month. There's no way I'm getting through all these, but that's okay. We're moving into another smaller one, thank goodness, and that is Women in Science, 50 Fearless Pioneers Who Changed the World. This is by Rachel Ignatowski, I think. I saw this book and got it for my classroom, but it's one that I don't put on my kids' shelves. I let them look through, but not keep. It is such a beautiful book. Again, another stunning set of artwork. I love the color combinations that they use. And it has just enough good information while still being accessible to students. You can see that it's kind of like a little blurb, and then it has pictures with more little facts thrown in. So I'm so excited to read the full set. I've read from different people when we were doing research or as they came up in social studies for us, but I'm excited to really get through the whole book. After that, we have somewhat of a classic on our list, and that is Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut. I've heard a lot about Kurt Vonnegut as an author, but I've never read any of his works, and I literally know nothing about this book except for that it is one of his more well-known, I think. Even that, I'm not entirely sure of. But it is on my list to read. I'm going to be checking it out from the library, and I'm excited to see what he's all about as an author. I have another one of his books on my shelf, Slaughterhouse-Five, and so I'm hoping I really enjoy both. Two more books to get through. The next one is another in a sequel, and that is one of my beautiful editions of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, by J.R.R. Tolkien. So this is going to be a reread for me, but it's been a long time, and I got these beautiful new sets, and so it felt like a good excuse to reread them. So another one of my series pick. The very last book is another classic, and the edition that I have is pretty beat up, but that is Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. I haven't ever actually read this. I know a lot about it, but I've never read it myself. You can see my edition is very like old and yellow. I'm excited to finally get this classic read. I feel like, again, it's a nice little short one that I'm definitely going to enjoy. So, those are the books on my September TBR. The likelihood of me getting through all of these is slim, but that's the order I'm going in with this one. Our goal is to read, break it into 4 sections, so probably about 200 pages a week from this guy. Yeah, I really hope I get through a chunk of these, but it's gonna be a stretch. I was a waitress in college, so I feel like I should be better at this, but here's my stack along with the 2 books that I'm going to be checking out from the library. Definitely, again, those 3 big ones in there are kind of intimidating, but I feel like maybe it can happen. Maybe. If you've read any of these, let me know. And especially let me know if you've read any Kurt Vonnegut, because I feel like that's an author I hear a lot about, but I really don't know the plot of any of his books. So let me know what you think. I hope you have a great week. I hope your September starts off well, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.